Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. Let me ask you something real quick. What if I said you could completely transform your home without spending hours scrubbing, without exhausting yourself, and without feeling overwhelmed by clutter? What if the secret to a clean, organized home was not about working harder, but working smarter through simple daily routines? You're watching Video, your go-to channel for practical, efficient, and realistic cleaning solutions that actually fit into real life. Before we dive into the game-changing habits that will transform your space, do me a huge favor right now. Hit that subscribe button. Seriously, it takes 2 seconds, and it helps us grow this channel so we can bring you more helpful content just like this. While you're at it, drop a like on this video. It really does help us reach more people who need these tips. Now, here's what most people get wrong about keeping a clean home. They think it requires perfection. They think they need to clean all day, every day. They think their home should look like magazine covers. But that's not reality, and that's not what we're about here. The truth is far simpler. The truth is habits. I've spent years studying how homes stay clean and organized, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that habits are the only real way to create lasting change in your space. Not motivation, not willpower. Habits, because habits are automatic. Habits are sustainable. Habits actually work. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 life-changing cleaning habits that have completely transformed how I maintain my home. These aren't complicated strategies. These aren't expensive solutions. These are real, practical habits that you can start using today. And here's the thing. My home isn't perfect. Not even close. But it works. It's clean enough. It's organized enough. And most importantly, it's manageable. So, if you're ready to learn these 10 habits, stick around to the end. And when you're watching, I want you to pick just one habit that resonates with you. Just one to start with. We'll talk about that at the end. But first, let me know in the comments which area of your home frustrates you the most. Is it the kitchen, the bedroom, the living room? Tell me in the comments. Let's build a community here where we're all helping each other create cleaner, more peaceful spaces. Life-changing cleaning habit number 1. Constant decluttering and editing. The first habit that will genuinely change everything is what I call constant editing. Now, this might sound simple, but it's actually the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about today. What does editing mean? It means regularly going through your stuff and deciding what stays and what goes. It means being honest with yourself about what you actually use and what you're just holding on to because of guilt or what-if thinking. Let me give you some practical examples, because this is where it gets real. Think about magazines. If you have magazine subscriptions, you probably have a stack somewhere. That stack grows and grows until it becomes this massive pile that makes your space feel chaotic just looking at it. Editing means actually going through that pile and asking yourself, do I need these? Will I actually read them? If the answer is no, they go. Recycle, donate, whatever. They're gone. The same principle applies to your clothes. How many items in your closet have you not worn in a year? 2 years? Those take up space and energy. They create visual clutter that weighs on your mind, even if you don't realize it. Editing means getting rid of them. Think about your kitchen counters, or that little table by your front door where everything seems to accumulate. Stuff just piles up there, right? That happens because we don't edit. We see something we think we might need someday and we put it there, and then, suddenly, there's 10 things there, and it looks like chaos. Editing is the antidote. Make it a habit to go through your spaces regularly and remove things that are out of place or that you no longer need. Some items will get recycled. Some will go in the trash. Some might be donated to someone who will actually use them. The key is that they leave your home. When you make editing a regular habit, you create space. You create clarity. You create a home that actually feels peaceful instead of stressful. And here's the beautiful part. Once you start editing regularly, it becomes easier. You build confidence in your ability to let things go. You stop feeling guilty about it, and your home responds by feeling lighter and brighter. If you're finding this helpful so far, please share this video with someone who needs to hear it. There's probably someone in your life right now who's drowning in clutter. Send this their way. Life-changing cleaning habit number 2. Keep your flat surfaces empty. I've had this saying for years, and I want to share it with you because it's absolutely true. Messes attract more messes. It's like things have a magnetic pull toward chaos. Think about this. You have a kitchen counter. When it's empty or mostly empty, you probably keep it that way, right? You put things where they belong. Well, but as soon as you put one item on that counter and leave it there, something shifts. It becomes okay to put another thing there, then another. Before you know it, your counter is covered in stuff, and it looks and feels completely out of control. This is life-changing cleaning habit number 2, and it's about fighting that magnetic effect. It's about keeping your horizontal surfaces as free and clear as possible. These are your counters, your tables, your shelves, any flat surface where stuff accumulates. Now, I understand that real life happens. Maybe you work from home and your dining table is now your desk. Maybe you have a temporary workspace set up in your living room. I get it. The principle still applies, though. You want those surfaces as free from unnecessary items as possible. Here's why this matters so much. When your flat surfaces are empty, they don't attract mess. They become what I call demagnetized. People naturally keep them cleaner. You naturally keep them cleaner. Your family naturally keeps them cleaner. It's almost like the space is telling people, please don't put your stuff here. But when a surface is already cluttered, your brain says, well, there's already stuff here, so one more thing won't hurt. And that's exactly how you end up with completely unusable surfaces. So make it a daily habit. When you pass through your kitchen, look at your counters. Are they clear? If not, clear them. When you walk through your living room, look at your coffee table. Is it serving a purpose, or is it just holding random items? Clear it. This habit takes minutes, but the impact is enormous. People often ask me how I keep my home looking put together. This is honestly 70% of the answer. I don't have much stuff out on my surfaces. It's that simple. Life-changing cleaning habit number 3. Identify your daily non-negotiable tasks. This habit is about identifying the 1, 2, or 3 things that you absolutely cannot skip on any given day. And here's the important part. This will be completely different for you than it is for me or for your neighbor, because we all live different lives. These daily non-negotiable tasks are the things that if they don't happen, your entire home feels off. They're the things that make you feel stressed or frustrated when they're not done. They're usually in the areas of your home that get the most use. We call these Hydra areas. Let me walk you through my daily non-negotiables, and then we'll talk about how to identify yours. For me, the kitchen floor is huge. Every single day, there's crumbs, there's dust, there's mess on that floor, so vacuuming it is non-negotiable. It takes a few minutes. That's it. But the impact is incredible. The kitchen instantly looks and feels cleaner. Everything else feels more manageable. The second one for me is unloading the dishwasher. This has to happen in the morning, then we run it at night. When this task doesn't happen, and I mean when it doesn't happen for even one day, the kitchen backs up. It becomes a bottleneck. Dirty dishes pile up. Clean dishes pile up. Suddenly, the whole area looks like chaos. So, this is non-negotiable. Now, how do you identify your non-negotiables? Ask yourself these questions. What areas of my home frustrate me the most? What tasks, when left undone, make my stress level spike? What are the high traffic zones in my home? For some people, it might be making the bed every morning. For others, it might be washing the entryway floor where people come in with dirty shoes. Maybe it's making sure the living room is clutter-free before bed. Maybe it's making sure the living room is clutter-free before bed. The point is to identify 2 or 3 of these things, write them down, then commit to doing them every single day. Do you know what happens when you do this? You instantly feel more in control. Your home looks better. Your stress goes down. And the best part is these tasks usually only take a few minutes. We're talking 5 to 10 minutes a day for most people. Start identifying yours today. Write them down. Tell me in the comments what your non-negotiable task is going to be. Because when you say it out loud, when you make it public, you're more likely to actually do it. Life-changing? Cleaning habit number 4. Create a holding zone for items you're unsure about. One of the biggest obstacles to keeping your home clean is something I hear from almost everyone I talk to. They say, Marcus, I have too much stuff. I want to get rid of things, but I'm not ready. I might need it someday. What if I get rid of it and then wish I had it? This is so real and so valid. That's why we created something that changed everything for us. We call it a weigh station. It's basically a holding area for items you think you want to get rid of, but you're not quite ready to part with permanent. A weigh station is a designated space, maybe a box or a shelf, where you put these items. They're not in your living space creating visual clutter and mental weight, but they're not gone forever either. They're parked in this safe zone. Here's how it works. Every 3 months or 6 months, whatever time frame feels right for you, you revisit what's in your weigh station. If you haven't used those items in 3 months, you probably don't actually need them. So they go, you donate them, recycle them, or sell them, whatever feels right. This habit is life-changing because it removes the guilt and the what-if thinking. You're not throwing anything away immediately. You're giving yourself time and space to see if you actually miss it. In almost all cases, you don't. And then you get to feel good about passing that item on to someone who will actually use and enjoy it. I want to give you a challenge if you're willing to try this. Start with something small. Most homes have a junk drawer, right? That drawer where everything that doesn't have a home ends up. It's full of random things, most of which you probably don't need. Take everything out of your junk drawer. Put it all in a box. Let that box be your weigh station for 3 months. If you need something from that box, you can pull it out and put it back in the drawer. But at the end of 3 months, anything that's still in the box probably isn't something you need or use. It can go. This exercise teaches you the power of the weigh station method. It shows you how little you actually need from those cluttered spaces, and it builds your confidence in letting things go. So, here's my question for you. Do you have a junk drawer? Is it overflowing? Tell me in the comments and let me know if you're going to try this weigh station challenge. I'd love to hear about your results. Life-changing cleaning habit number 5. Handle things only once. This habit has an acronym, and I love it because it's so easy to remember. It's called OHIO, which stands for Only Handle It Once. What does this mean? It means when you have something in your hands, when you're dealing with something, you don't put it down to deal with it later. You deal with it right now. You handle it completely, and then you move on. I know this sounds simple, but it's actually life-changing in practice. Here's why. We all have a tendency to put things down and say, I'll deal with it later. But later rarely comes. Things sits there. Other things pile on top of it. It becomes this massive, overwhelming pile that takes hours to sort through. Let me give you real examples. You come home from shopping with groceries. Ohio says you don't put the bags down and plan to put them away later. You put them away right now. It takes 10 minutes. But if you don't, those bags sit in your kitchen and they're in the way and they're cluttering your space, and after a few hours they're still there. You have a pile of laundry in your hands. Ohio says you don't put it on the bed and think you'll fold it tonight. You fold it or hang it up right now. It takes time, yes, but it's done and you're not living around laundry anymore. This habit is huge for me personally. When I come home, I often have a whole bunch of things in my hands. My first instinct used to be to just drop everything and deal with it later. But Ohio changed that. Now I handle it all right away. I put things where they belong. I hang things up. I put stuff in the drawers. It takes maybe 5 minutes, but my home stays organized. Here's what happens when you practice Ohio consistently. You stop accumulating random piles. Your spaces stay cleaner. You feel less overwhelmed. Your home feels like it's under control. Start noticing when you're about to put something down with the intention of dealing with it later. In that moment, pause. Ask yourself, can I handle this right now? In most cases, the answer is yes. And if you handle it, you're done with it. You can move on. You're not carrying that task mentally anymore. This is one of those habits that takes practice, but pays huge dividend. Start with one category. Maybe it's mail or dishes or clothes. Whatever it is, commit to handling it only once. Put it away right away. See how good it feels and expand from there. Life-changing cleaning. Habit number 6. Invest in cleaning tools you actually enjoy using. This might sound silly, but it's actually crucial. The cleaning tools you choose and whether you enjoy using them will directly impact how often you clean and how well you do it. Think about it logically. If you have cleaning tools that feel cheap and frustrating to use, you're going to avoid cleaning. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to do a half-hearted job. But if you have tools that you actually like picking up, that feel good in your hands, that work well, you're going to want to use them. And here's the second part of this. Once you have tools you like, learn how to use them properly. That sounds obvious, but most people don't do this. They buy a tool and kind of figure it out as they go. But if you take the time to learn how to use your tools effectively, you become efficient. You do better work. You feel more confident. I've been recommending the same quality cleaning tools for years because they work. They last. They're worth the investment. And I stand by that because I've tested them, and I know they actually make a difference. There's a principle I always follow when it comes to purchases, especially with tools. Buy once, buy well. This means don't buy cheap. Don't buy multiple times. Buy the good version once and let it last you for years. This applies directly to cleaning tools. Get a good vacuum if you vacuum regularly. Get a good mop. Get good microfiber cloths. Get tools that you would actually enjoy picking up and using. Because here's the reality. You're more likely to clean if your tools are enjoyable. You're more likely to do a good job if your tools actually work, and you're more likely to maintain your space if the maintenance tasks feel manageable and even somewhat pleasant. So, look at your current cleaning tools. Be honest with yourself. Do you actually like using them? If the answer is no, that's okay. It's time to upgrade. Find tools that make you feel good. Tools that work well. Tools that inspire you to actually clean. The investment will pay for itself in how much better your space will be. Life-changing cleaning habit number 7. Develop a cleaning system that works for you. When I started a professional cleaning business, I had absolutely no cleaning experience. Zero. But I very quickly learned that without a system, I couldn't be successful. I couldn't get the job done efficiently. I couldn't satisfy my clients. My business wouldn't work. So, I developed a system. I created a process. And that system changed everything. It cut my cleaning time in half. It made the work feel manageable. It made the results consistent and reliable. That system eventually became something we call the 3-wave approach. This is a method that has genuinely transformed how people clean their homes. And I've shared it with so many people, and they tell me the same thing. It changed everything. The principle behind having a system is this. When you have a system, you can go on autopilot. You don't have to think about what you're doing. You just follow the system, and it works. You get consistent results every single time. You work efficiently. You don't waste time or energy wondering what to do next. Without a system, cleaning feels chaotic. You don't know where to start. You don't know if you're missing things. You start in one room and get distracted and end up starting 5 different things and finishing none of them. But with a system, you have a clear path. You follow it, you finish, you're done. Now, your system doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. It might be as simple as top to bottom, left to right, or room by room, or task by task. Whatever works for you and your home. The important thing is to have something. Create a system. Write it down if it helps. Follow it consistently and watch what happens. Your cleaning becomes faster. It becomes easier. It becomes sustainable. If you want to dive really deep into proven cleaning systems, there are resources available that break down these methodologies step by step. But the main point is, don't just randomly clean. Have a plan. Have a system. Have a process. And stick to it. Life-changing cleaning habit number 8. Set a time limit for cleaning tasks. Here's something I discovered about myself years ago. I find cleaning dreadful. I don't enjoy it. It's not something I wake up excited about. So, I had to find a way to make it bearable. And the answer was setting a time limit. When I give myself a specific amount of time to clean, something magical happens. The task stops feeling infinite and overwhelming. It stops feeling like something I have to do for as long as it takes. Instead, it has boundaries. It has an end point. And that makes it psychologically manageable. Here's how I do it. I choose something entertaining to listen to while I clean. Maybe it's a podcast. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's an audiobook. I pick something that's a specific length. Let's say it's a podcast episode that's 40 minutes long. Now I know I have exactly 40 minutes to clean. When that podcast ends, I stop cleaning. This does 2 things. First, it gives me a clear time boundary. I'm not cleaning indefinitely. Second, it makes the time pass more enjoyably. My brain is engaged with something I like while my hands are doing the cleaning. Before I know it, I'm done. The result is that I actually clean regularly because it doesn't feel like this overwhelming burden. It feels like, oh, I'll listen to this podcast and clean during it, and then I'm done. If you find cleaning dreadful like I do, try this habit. It genuinely works. Pick a podcast, pick a song playlist, pick an audiobook. Set that as your time frame. Clean during that time. When it ends, you're done. You've accomplished your goal. You can feel good about it. Life-changing cleaning habit number 9. Tartea. Make cleaning a shared responsibility. This is important, and I want to be really clear about it. Cleaning should not fall on one person's shoulders. Not if everyone in the household is contributing to the mess. Think about it logically. If multiple people live in a space, multiple people create mess. So multiple people should be responsible for cleaning. This is true whether you're living with adults, teenagers, or kids. And I know this can be challenging. Kids sometimes resist. Teenagers definitely resist. Adults can be stubborn, too. But I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everyone. This works because eventually it sticks. The key is starting the conversation gently and starting where you are. Now, kids are capable of way more than we sometimes give them credit for. If a child can figure out how to use a tablet or a smartphone, they can figure out how to bring their dishes to the dishwasher. They can figure out how to put their dirty clothes in a hamper. They can figure out how to put their toys away. We just have to ask them, and more importantly, make it a habit. The same is true for teenagers and adults. Sometimes they genuinely don't realize they need to help. Sometimes they've gotten used to someone else handling everything. Starting the conversation is often just a matter of gently pointing out the issue and asking for their help. Say something like, "Hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed with the dishes. Can you help me by loading the dishwasher every evening? Or I'm working really hard to keep the space clean. I need everyone to pitch in by putting their stuff away." Make it a family conversation. Make it a household expectation. Make it a habit. And gradually people will step up. They'll understand that it's everyone's responsibility, and the load gets distributed instead of falling on one person. This habit makes cleaning sustainable for the long term. It also teaches everyone in your household that shared spaces require shared responsibility. Life-changing cleaning habit. Number 10. Be gentle with yourself and release perfectionism. This is the final habit, and it might be the most important one. You need to be kind to yourself about the state of your home. You need to forgive yourself when things aren't perfect. People often say to me, Marcus, your home must be absolutely immaculate because you're a cleaning expert. And I laugh because the truth is very different. My home is not immaculate. If you came to visit me on an average day or even a good day, my home would be like a 7 out of 10. There are things out of place. There are areas I haven't organized recently. There are dust bunnies in corners. And you know what? That's okay. That's real life. I spent a long time comparing my home to this perfect standard in my mind. I thought it should always look like a magazine. I thought I should be cleaning constantly, and all that did was make me feel defeated and stressed. Then I shifted my perspective. I realized that my goal isn't a perfect home. My goal is a home that feels good to live in, a home that's functional, a home that's organized enough that I'm not stressed. And I do as much as I can toward that goal. And then I forgive myself for the rest. That shift changed everything for me. It made the whole process feel sustainable. It made me feel better. It made my home feel better because I wasn't constantly anxious about it. So, here's what I want to say to you. Your home doesn't have to be perfect. If it's not perfect, that's okay. That's normal. That's real life. Do your best. Follow these habits. Work on your systems. And then give yourself grace. Forgive yourself for the imperfections, because a home that's lived in and loved is always better than a home that's sterile and impossible to maintain. There you have it. 10 life-changing cleaning habits that will genuinely transform your home. These aren't complicated. These aren't expensive. These are real practical habits that work because they're sustainable and they fit into real life. Now, here's what I want you to do. Pick one habit. Just one. The one that resonates with you most. The one that seems like it would make the biggest difference in your space. Start there. Get that one habit down. Make it a routine. Then, when you're ready, add another one. This approach is so much more effective than trying to implement everything at once. One habit builds on another. Before you know it, your entire approach to your home has shifted. So, tell me in the comments, which one habit are you going to start with? Which one is calling to you? Let me know. And when you do, you're not just committing to yourself. You're joining a community of people who are all working toward cleaner, more organized, more peaceful homes. While you're in those comments, please share this video with someone you know who could use these tips. I guarantee there's someone in your life right now who needs to hear this message. Send it their way. Help spread the word about creating cleaner, more manageable homes. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. When you subscribe, you never miss a video. You're building community with people who get it, who understand that real homes aren't perfect, and who are committed to making their spaces better. Hit that like button too. It helps us reach more people, and it tells us that you found value in this content. I'm Marcus, and I'll see you in the next video where we dive even deeper into practical cleaning and organizing strategies. Until then, pick that one habit and go make your home feel amazing. You've got this.